If you can hear me, let me know. If the audio is good. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Let me know if you can hear me clear. I got on these headphones, but we've been having audio issues with Facebook, so I'm just trying to test it out before we start going in and whatnot. So if you can hear me clearly, just let me know. And then, oh, all right, cool. You can hear me. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. It's your brother Red Pill. All right, reporting live and direct on 125th Street. Right, there goes the Apollo. We're in Harlem, New York City. It's a nice day out here. Nice spring day, preparing for the summer. I did a live last night. I did a Melanin Mondays last night. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but I did something on Father's Day. They didn't let me upload that. They said that the video was hidden and they won't give me access to that. And then last night with Melanin Mondays, they did that again. So today's video is going to be about my last attempt, because if they don't let this one go through, we're not going to get all upset and whatnot. I'm just going to be forced to start uploading or going straight through YouTube and whatnot, because, these videos are important and I want to get them out. All right. Andrea, is it too late? No, you could come. I'll be out here till 7 something. 7-ish. Oh, man. So it's going to be kind of impossible to repeat everything that was talked about yesterday. But, we're going to tap into the energy and we're going to touch on some stuff that we touched on last night. Last night we did about 1 hour and 45 minutes. It was beautiful. A lot of information was being shared. The family was in the building. I was feeding off of the energy that was in the building and whatnot. So we're going to do that again tonight. Yeah, so, I see people saying things in the chat room about what Facebook is kicking them off the video and not letting them back in. Somebody might be reporting the videos. All of that is expected. You know what I mean? None of that is coming as a surprise to me, because I know that there's a level of monitoring or surveillance that these social media platforms are engaged in, especially post Cambridge Analytica, post fake news, in this post in this theater that we're in, this post BIE world, where they're targeting certain people who are speaking certain truths and are affecting certain people's perspective or narrative. I think that they feel like that's a threat. So, they fuck around, but we fuck around too. So we're not bothered by any of that, because like I say, they could pull the plugs on all of this digital shit. We popping in the real world. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about, like, just have to rent a short bus and just travel state to state with a goddamn megaphone if need be. But the voice is going to be heard. The message is going to be received. So we're not even worrying about any of that. And we damn sure not giving nobody outside of our self-power over us. So we just chalk that up to some technical difficulties and keep it moving. That's how we do that. You heard? But the majority of the conversation yesterday was definitely focusing on the untimely demise and passing of the young brother XXXTentacion. XXXTentacion. I don't know how to pronounce the moniker or his name properly. You know what I mean? I always used to just say XXX. Right? So the young brother, 20 years old, 20, teenager, right? A young adult for that matter, who just became a millionaire while being a teenager. You know what I mean? I believe he signed a contract with a record label in the millions when he was about 17 or 18. He was a SoundCloud artist. He popped up and popped off of SoundCloud. He's one of those artists that when I tell the family that you can basically become very successful independently in this new era or in this new climate or this new environment or in the new marketplace, this new digital marketplace where you could go direct to customer or direct to market. I'm speaking about artists such as Little Pump. I'm speaking about artists such as XXXTentacion. I'm speaking about artists such as Kodak Black. All of those artists that I just named come out of the Florida region. The Florida region currently has had a boom of what is known as SoundCloud artists. They've had an explosion of young rappers, mostly teenagers, meaning that they are in the demographics of 17 to 25-year-old. That is the new demographics that the record industry is actually marketing and pitching to. That is the preferred demographics. It is not the old heads. It is not the brothers and sisters of the Nas generation. It is not people who are Kanye West's age group. They are not considering you in the record industry. You are not being marketed to. You are not being looked at as the preferred customer. Your dollar is not even being looked at. You might be the second or third preferred demographics that they're marketing to. They're pitching their message to 17-year-olds to 25-year-olds. Ticket thing. Yeah. Mainly these young artists. Chief Keef in the year 2012 was the marquee artist when they began to shift the attention from the old school rappers or the old heads or the old generation, and they started focusing on these young niggas, the youth, the Lils. Currently, right now, there's 8,000 rappers on Spotify who have Lil, Lil, in front of their name. Currently, as we speak, 8,000 distinct rappers with the name Lil, Lil, in the front of their name. And I said it before, when all of the bigs started getting killed, Big Papa, Big Pun, Big Smalls, Big Baby Jesus, Big L, all of these rappers got murdered. All of these rappers died. All of these rappers expired. Then we started to see the rise of the youngs and the Lils, Lil Boozy, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? Young Jeezy, all of the youngins and whatnot. So that mentality of being young is also encompassed in these artists with the Lils in their name. You don't see too many mature, older, conscious, grown-up artists who are speaking about responsibilities and the complexities of being adults, but Lil in front of their name. Usually when they start realizing that there are adults living in this world, they shake the Lil and they just be like, "What's good? Peace, peace. I'm good. How are you? All right? Yes, sir. It's all gravy. No doubt. Yep. Yes, sir." So then they start wisening up and they'll drop the Lil from their name and they'll just be like, "Call me Bow Wow." Not Lil Bow Wow. I'm just Bow Wow. Or just call me Wayne. I'm not Lil no more. I'm just Weezy. Right? Motherfuckers that act like they're growing and they're maturing. We in the music industry, or we as connoisseurs of the music from the music industry, we understand what they mean because we understand that when it comes to artists who was introduced to you as teenagers, or they're introduced to you as babies, or they're introduced to you in their earlier phases of life, like a Nasir Jones, like a Rakim Allah, like many of the members that came from Wu-Tang and stuff like that. Remember, Nasir was 17 years old when Live at the Barbecue came out. Nasir Jones was a child coming out of Queensbridge. He was appealing to the demographics that the record industry is catering to. When Mobb Deep came out with their first single, they were 13 and 14 years old. They were called a juvenile. No, sir. Extra large. Yeah, they've been selling. All of the small sizes has been going. Yes, sir. Yeah, we out here grinding. It's grind time. Look. All right. So the Lils, right? The Lils and Young, see them boys right there. So the Lils and the Youngs, you know, they've taken over the music industry. Nasir Jones just dropped the album the other day called Nasir Jones, right? He's still relevant in the industry because he started so early in the industry. He came out in 1991, and we're in 2018, and Nasty Nas or Nasir Jones is still relevant. He still looks young. He's still preserved. He still has a youthful spirit. He still wants. There's still people that want to listen to him. So when you have an artist like an XXXTentacion, or you have an artist like all of the Lils and whatnot, or all of the Youngs and whatnot, you have to have the mind state that in about 30 years, these niggas might still be around. These dudes, these artists might be mature in 20 years. They may have grown up. They may drop the Lil. They may drop the Young, and may be some of the most prolific artists to ever grace the industry. They may have power couples where they marry, they might get married to one of the young thotties, or Cardi B might be on her third marriage, and her and Jaden Smith or something, icon. I'm just saying it's all kind of weird shit that might happen in the future. You don't know, but what I do know is that when I'm being marketed and when I'm listening to artists that are 17 years old and 18 and 19 and 20, I'm not looking for them to be perfect. I'm actually looking for the flaws. I'm actually looking for their demons. I'm actually looking for their dark side. I want to see how they express it as teenagers, because I know that as a teenager, my generation, we went through what is known as the rites of passage, and we was attracted to all things doth. Because we were teenagers, we had hormones running through our veins. So we flirted with death. We were invincible. We didn't give a fuck what none of you old niggas was talking about. We were actually terrorizing the older generation. Why? Because we could, and we saw that they feared us. So that even made us go ahead and go harder on them. How did we become men? In my neighborhood, you became a man by victimizing or traumatizing or basically robbing somebody who was older than you. You know what I'm talking about? White men, black men, Haitians, Africans. Like, we was rat packing it, and we was wolfganging it, and we was turned to fuck up, and we wasn't apologizing for none of that shit, and we wasn't asking permission from nobody. You know what I mean? I remember being in C-74 building. That was the building on Rikers Island that they built specifically for the adolescents, and they was sending adults over there because the other buildings was too crowded. We was terrorizing the adults. These niggas fathers and old heads and whatnot. We was running down, you know what I mean? Terrorizing them, extorting them, doing all of these things, because as a youth, it's almost like being in the Serengeti, my nigga. That was our Serengeti, Rikers Island. You know what I'm talking about? The projects right now, Marcy and whatnot, Queensbridge. That's niggas Serengeti, bro. You know what I'm talking about? These motherfucking streets where these niggas is out here gang and bang banging. That's the street. That's the Serengeti. Chirac right now is the little niggas on Old Block. That's Serengeti. If they can survive the killing fields, you know, if they can survive the killing fields, if they can survive the penitentiary, you know what I'm talking about? If they could survive being cased up, if they could survive some nasty yoni, you know what I mean, that's taking niggas down, you know, graveyard pussy, then they could brag and boast about it when they become young adults, that they made it when other warriors and other kindred spirits and other quote-unquote real niggas didn't. That's how you gauge your realness, because you know niggas that was realer than you that got clapped down, they're no longer here, so you vicariously think that makes you tougher, you know what I mean, or that makes you chosen, or that makes you realer. That's an unfortunate reality in many of the hoods in America right now, is that's our rites of passage, because we haven't decided any other kind of ways to get scratched or to get our scars. This was my scar right here. You see my scar on my arm, right? That scar, that was my rites of passage. Motherfucker tried to take my arm off in 1993. Then he cut me above my eye. You see that cut? You see that cut right there? That's from a razor. You know what I'm talking about? The nigga was trying to take my face off, and I had to block it, and I almost lost my arm. I got my tendons, everything cut. I couldn't make a fist for 2 months, right? This is 1993, 94 around that time. And I felt tougher as a result of that shit. I felt more, you know what I mean? I shed blood. I spilled blood into the streets, pints of it. So that was like my rites of passage, because after that, people were acting like they feared me, and I'm the nigga that got cut. So when we see a tormented, tortured young man who was bipolar and coming of age and obviously struggling with mommy issues, anger issues, you know, he was the hate produced young XXXTentacion. I remember when he came out because I was following him. I was on his timeline. I was listening to him. You know what I mean? Because I was intrigued by his nature, and I was intrigued by his struggles, and I was intrigued by his tragic story. And unfortunately, his story has ended in death. You know, he's an immortal. You know, according to the youth, his 8 million followers said that they're gonna immortalize him and they're gonna put him into immortal status. There's nothing that you niggas could do about that. You could get big mad, little mad, because I see a lot of old niggas, a lot of old grimy ass, hateful, old, you know, just dusty niggas out there who act like they have the right or they have the audacity to try to, you know, judge certain people for the mistakes they make in life, and then they make the biggest mistake and they try to act like they have the right to judge who gets to live and who gets to die on this planet because somebody might be of the same complexion than them. They start falling into this quote-unquote Messiah God complex where they go online and they say who deserves to die and who doesn't deserve to die. Yet and still, you have an open enemy that's washing you up in the hundreds and thousands by the day. None of you niggas had the audacity. You don't have the testicular fortitude, nor do you have the heart to say that them motherfuckers deserve to die. I don't see you hexing or putting any kind of brouhaha or any kind of motherfucking bad vibes on your open enemies. But you will always begin to beat up on the youth because a lot of you old niggas hate the youth. A lot of you old women hate the youth, but especially a lot of you old niggas, you've abandoned your own children. You've abandoned the youth. You hate the youth. You hate the youth because you were doing things that were so disgraceful that you neglected your children that you gave birth to, maybe by accident. A lot of you niggas was involved in the drug trade. A lot of you niggas was involved in the genocide of the crack era. A lot of you niggas fathered children that you fucking hate. And I see the hate and the vitriol that you throw and you bestow upon the youth that are coming up who are only rebelling against the fuck shit that you put out there. They're only rebelling against you old fuck niggas. That's why they run around with face tats. That's why they run around with some wild, weird type. They act so weird and shit because their weirdness is a comfort zone so the people don't get confused and say that you niggas, that they're just like you niggas because they can't stand. The youth can't stand a lot of you old niggas because they see the demon in a lot of you niggas. They saw terror. They saw the motherfucking abuse in a lot of you dudes. They saw you traumatize a lot of their others. There are younger children out there. The hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. Tupac termed it thug life. You have young women, men who witnessed the atrocities that were committed against their parents when their parents were on drugs. Right? A lot of these old niggas was out there committing sexual deviant acts on a lot of these women who are out here traumatizing a lot of these young men who are walking around traumatized. They got traumatized as infants. They got traumatized in the womb. They got traumatized in a baby crib watching a group of men gang bang their mother who was a crack addict. Shit like that. Right? So a lot of these niggas hate the fucking youth and they just want them to go away. They just wish them away. You know what I mean? They diminish their impact. They diminish, they try to besmirch who they are because they don't understand them. They don't understand them because they don't want to understand them. They don't understand them because they don't take time to talk to them. They don't understand them because they're not evaluating the fallout from the crack era and all of that gang shit and all of that street shit and all of the lyrics that you niggas were promoting throughout this fucking generations. You can't shit on one. You can't shit on XXXTentacion and not shit on these old niggas. You can't blame him for being violent against women when hip hop teaches you that. When the motherfucking movies teach you that. When Family Guy and motherfucking Married with Children and the Maury Show and all of the goddamn ratchet reality shows, Flavor of Love, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, all of that perpetuates violence. Fuck is you talking about? If you get into an argument on a reality show, what are you supposed to do? Throw a cup, pull weaves, and kick ass, right? You're supposed to pull the wig and bite them and beat them up. That's how our children have been trained. These little young niggas is beating up women, men, children, and all of that. They're savages because remember, you're supposed to want to be a savage like Chief Keef. You're supposed to want to be a Chirac Savage, a young Baphomet. You're supposed to be savage. You're supposed to have no heart. You're supposed to be gang, boop, boop, gang, nigga, right? You're supposed to be a savage. So I spoke about this before, about the quote-unquote Killmonger archetype that has been targeted for execution or been targeted for purge or it's been targeted for annihilation. And when you see it happen, you should know what you're seeing. The Killmonger prototype or the archetype, what they showed you in the movie Black Panther, was the young black man who has been traumatized, who has been desensitized and dehumanized. He's out there savage. He's out there killing shit. He's out there with the chopper. He got face tats with all kind of tear ducts because he's out there catching mad bodies. He has a disconnect from the divine feminine principle, so he hates the women. So he beats up the women. So he chokes his women out. So he's basically, he has no love for the divine feminine principle. That's what you saw with Killmonger. Remember, he was killing women. He didn't give a fuck. He shot his girlfriend. He choked the women out by the flower beds and whatnot. He by the elder. That's that prototype. You see that shit run rampant in hip hop. NBA Youngboy with his violence against his woman. Fabulous with the violence against his woman. XXXTentacion with the violence against his woman. 6ix9ine with the violence against women through sexual deviancy. You know what I'm talking about? There's a whole crap. Kodak Black with the violence against women on multiple occasions. These emo rappers, these young artists, peace y'all, who are on pharmacopoeia. They're on mind-altering drugs. They're on mind-altering drugs. They're on heavy, hard drugs. They're on cocaine. They're on heroin. They're on Adderalls. You know what I'm saying? They're on opiates. They're on crack. Right? They're on all of these drugs, defocalizing, right? They're on all of these drugs that help you defocalize. These little niggas kill niggas and then take the drugs so they don't have to feel any emotions. Like the video of the young man who actually, I believe, killed XXXTentacion. I forgot his name, but he's one of these little niggas with all of the ice in his teeth. I looked at the video, I could tell he was on heavy drugs and he killed XXXTentacion. I watch enough motherfucking First 48 to know killer when I see one. You know what I'm talking about? That little nigga killed him, and you could tell that he killed them strictly out of hate. It had nothing to do with anything but hate. So these little young niggas hate themselves. They hate each other. They have hate for anybody who's more successful than them. They just little hate. They hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. They were born in hate. They know nothing but hate. They were reared in hate. They was hated in fucking womb. The mama hated them. Their mamas hated them. Their fathers hated them. These old niggas is running around. They hate the motherfucking offspring. Or they hate the youth because the youth reminds them of who they can't be. Or who these niggas have never measured up to become. Mass psychotropics. Do you know if you pop Xennies and bars, you could go out and body something, and then when you come down off your high, you don't even remember that? Do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Do you know some of these psychotropics is really having niggas psycho in the tropics? Like, let's be fucking clear. The murder drugs, they help you catch your body more easier. It gives you ease just killing a nigga, not really thinking about it. You can smoke a few blunts and make some mumble rap and then wake up and you forgot all about that. You don't have to be haunted by their demons. But I'm here to let you know one thing. That's if you take another person's life on this planet, I don't give a fuck how many drugs you take. I don't give a fuck if you on elephant tranquilizer. You can't run from that person's spirit, my nigga. You own that spirit. That spirit is going to be with you. You're gonna live with that spirit. It's gonna either haunt you, turn you crazy, or turn you into the motherfucking precinct on some G-Dep shit. Okay? You can't go around taking lives. None of you niggas have been Christian the Grim Reaper. You're not the nigga from the Bone Thugs video. You hear what I'm saying? Taking Uncle Charles and whatnot. Boom, boom, boom. No, nigga, that's not your job. Fuck out of here. You're not putting any work on the ops, so I don't want to hear any of that. You don't get no points for that. So whoever killed Extastion, his life is ruined. I hope that they sleep in shit and piss, because what they did was they stole somebody who a lot of our children, remember, this is not, I don't listen to the young man. To be honest with you, the only song that I heard from him is the video where he was hanging the white kid. He did a video where he showed a reverse of the trauma that they're giving our people by lynching our babies. He lynched a white baby. Hey, you know what I mean? It's artistic expression. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm not selfish enough to say that the youth, the 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds, the young teenagers, the 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds, notice they don't listen to Jay-Z and Beyonce is not God to them. They don't listen to Nas like that. They don't care about the older crops. These little kids are born. These are millennials. They're listening to XXXTentacion. They're listening to Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're listening to Lil Pump. They're listening to all of these artists who they see as heroes to them. That's their heroes. That's the people who they have their hearts and their minds. So that young man had 8 million followers. He had a lot of influence over the hearts and minds of the youth. And like I said, don't take my word for it, or don't take Fox News' word for it. Go and find out what this young man was having conversations about. It's beyond a reasonable doubt that he was watching Black Magic 363, or he was tapped into one of the conscious channels. Because if you go and listen to his videos, that little nigga was on it. He was definitely on one. I would love to find out who one of his favorite teachers was. Because I'm hearing, remember, I could tell when I listen to these artists, I could tell when they speak, I could tell from the dialogue, I could tell from their lexicon, I could tell from their narrative if they're watching us or not. Facts. I have that motherfucking sight. I have that gift that I know who's on it and who's not on it. Mark my words, that little man was on it. He was on one. He was on the frequency. He was changing his life. He was on the love frequency. He was atoning for the damage that he caused. He was apologizing for the trolling. He started out as a troll. He started out like Tekashi. He started out trolling, putting a lot of bullshit energy out there, putting a lot of negativity out there. That little nigga had mommy issues. That little motherfucker was traumatized. He was bipolar. He said it. He was suffering paranoia. He knew that he was going to make transition. Talked about death because he's an emo rapper. I know a lot of people be like, oh, when you talk about death, it happens. Look, motherfucker, y'all don't know what these little people are going through in the world. God damn. The reason why he was so popular amongst the youth is because he speaks their language. They're depressed. They have anxiety. They have depression. They want to kill themselves. They are lost in this backwards ass, upside down, crazy ass world, this simulation that we're all trying to cope with, that we're trying to normalize the fact that this shit is insanity around us. And the youth is like, why did I come here? I'm ready to tap the fuck out, because where I came from was a lot more litty than this shit right here. We're not talking to the youth. We're not diagnosing the youth. We're not dealing with the youth and the issues that they have. Like I said, the hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. It keeps coming back around. Mothers out there, you can't throw him away. You can't say that he deserved to die because your son doesn't deserve to die, because your cousin didn't deserve to die, because your unborn doesn't deserve to die. Because let me tell you something. These young little children, these little niggas out here, these 18, these teenagers, they ravaging, they savages. They out here beating up girls. They out here beating up each other. They out here saying fuck dark skin, fuck light skin, fuck chicks with nappy hair. They on they ignorant, dumb, ignorant, savage shit. You gonna throw your son away though? You want the Reaper to come and visit that little nigga like cousin, like Uncle Charles, my nigga? No, you don't. So watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And watch the way that you point your motherfucking finger, or watch the way that you're trying to condemn people because they were violent in their past. I was violent in my past. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was violent in his past. God damn it. There's a whole bunch of people that was violent in their past. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? You can't condemn any one of us. You're not condemning Woods. You're not condemning the police officers that's walking away, murdering and lynching your people. You're not condemning Dylan Roof. You didn't have a seat. You so quick to try to condemn one of your own for being a fucking savage. That's not what we have. We're not going to get far like that. We're not going to get far like that. This community is about transformation. This community is about being butterflies from coming from the caterpillar phase. You motherfuckers want to gloss over the fact that you were a caterpillar crawling on your belly. You know what I'm saying? Eating the dust and eating the dirt before you grew your motherfucking wings. So a 20, he died at 20. He didn't even get a chance to grow his wings. Now he will be immortalized, and your babies is gonna make him the Tupac of their generation. Your days are over, old head. You know what I mean? Your days over. Stop trying to relive your glory days through the motherfucking through the younger generations. Let them have their experiences. Let them have their heroes. You can't turn John Wayne into the motherfucking hero of these little of the new generation. Just because you got rocked to sleep with that stupid bullshit, you nigga thought that you thought you was a cowboy in a spaghetti western, you bird ass nigga. You didn't even identify with the Indians. You know what I'm saying? You try to make your children make that their hero. No, they got their own set of heroes. They loved his imperfection. They loved his flaws because he reminded them on how flawed they were. He reminded them on how flawed their parents are, because niggas ain't perfect. You're going to kill your father? He was violent. You're going to kill your mother? Shit, she was violent. She was throwing pots and pans and scratching niggas and all of that. She probably stabbed your father up. You throw her away?
Bro, I'm just a fan. I see you on YouTube.
Oh,
man.
appreciate you. Oh, man, salute to Texas.
I was hoping Sidnell was out, you understand?
Yeah, he was out here earlier. He was out here earlier. Shout out to the family.
Right on.
Shout out to the family from Texas. All right, no doubt. Salute, King. Feel free to look through the selection. We got a lot of stuff out here. This the album right here, Twin, the double album. 23 songs in Blue Pill, commercial break. It's 20, it's a double. Go get that Twin album. TwinTheAlbum.com. TwinTheAlbum.com. So, they started, these are 20, the Harlems, they start at 20, they go up to 40 with the glitter and all that on them. So yeah, you know, we're not going to throw away our own people. We're at war right now. We're not going to throw away. We got people to throw away, but we're not going to condemn that young man and throw him away. I would throw the nigga who killed him away before I threw him away. You know what I mean? He's more useless. He's more useless eater. This man had potential. I put his baby picture on my Instagram. When you look in his eyes when he was a child, you know that you're looking at an indigo. You know that you was looking at a rainbow crystal child. You know what I'm talking about? You know that that's who he was because I could see it in his eyes. But what did he say? He said, I was tortured by my mama when I was young. He said that he was going through bipolar challenges. He said he was going through self-hatred. I don't got that in two. I got an XL. I'll show you how that's built.
Good start, man. Good start, man.
Lux.
Yow, the pillar.
Beloved.
Yo, when I was catching your spill a little bit, the last one with the joint we dropped on you and Rich dropped on you know when they be
the spiritual thing.
Yeah, different emotions touching.
That's right. And then right away that day.
Yeah.
That's when they showed the young man dead in his car. You can't show that to baby.
Right.
That's worse than seeing Mike Brown because they could relate to XXXTentacion because they knew him personally. They were in his bedroom watching his lives and whatnot. They didn't know Mike Brown. They didn't know Trayvon. They knew they got his music. They know him. So showing him what's that? They start at 20 and then they go up. I'm here, brother. Yes. When they show him dead in his car, they don't show white people dead. They don't show white celebrities dead. They'll never show you the cadaver of a white celebrity because they know the power of that. They will never show. There's white people that's dying. All of the ones that got suicide. They got the ones that found hanging and whatnot.
Right.
Never showed you. They had a selfie Rama around XXXTentacion dead in his car. Remember, he was sitting lifeless. Foul. TMZ broadcasted that foul. So that's what the video was talking about. I said in the video, when LeBron and them got beat in the finals, they're not going to watch all 3 games when they got washed up. And they're not going to keep watching the L. You don't watch the loss. You watch it for what? For purposes of correcting, to learn. And then you watch the tape when you niggas was winning. So why are they keep showing our people dead on TV and on the internet? What are they trying to do? They traumatized 8 million of his followers by doing that. There's the white media hated him. He wasn't one of them. He was going against them. He was anti-establishment. He was woke.
I said for those
you bodied that video. You bodied that. I saw that. That shit is getting. That shit. The streets is talking about that.
Oh, they seeing that thing? I ain't even see the whole thing.
Yeah, peace, nephew. What up? Peace. How you? All right. Yeah.
I'm glad that. So he posted this up. It's up now.
What?
That drink was Sai.
Sai posted that up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So we have a crisis on our hand because the youth culture, they don't look at life the way that we look at life. This shit is a video game to them. They carrying out bodies like it's Fortnite. Facts. They racking up bodies like it's Fortnite in these streets. There's mad murders already in hip hop. In the same day, yesterday was 666. When you break the numbers down.
You lying.
Yesterday was 666. Facts. Yesterday, because 2018 is 6. So yesterday, there was another rapper in Pittsburgh that got shot in his face.
Yeah, I seen that.
So the youth, when they wanted Tekashi to die last week in Chirac, they almost killed Rich the Kid, right? So the youth are out here wilding this summer. They're eating on each other. It's a result of a lot of the fear they have. The police this out here traumatizing them. They don't got no smoke for them niggas. They don't got no smoke for the popo. So they out here sabotaging each other. So all of that Instagram flexing, all of that clout chasing, that shit has dire effects right now. There's murder attached to it now. So for all of these young dudes that are addicted to attention, that are addicted to Instagram, they're addicted to drama, they addicted to clout, you get your motherfucking head popped off. Fuck around. You already saw Tekashi 6ix9ine had to put a video up saying, yo, I'm sorry, I don't want no smoke. I apologize. He showed it is real. Yeah.
Yeah, he really retracted that.
Because what did Jay-Z and Beyonce say? Everything is love. Right, Lux? What did Jay and Beyonce say? Everything is love. After watching that video, as a younger, you should want to be that right there. That's success is there. I'm in the motherfucking museum with my wife. We on tour making a few million. Everything is love. And we got babies at home. If you're not aspiring for that, kill yourself. You just taking up time and space. Facts. You might as well sign up and just be the front line against the opposition. But they're not electing to do that. They're killing each other. They're committing acts. That's cowardly. That's suicide. You don't want no smoke as if a white man's gun is hotter than a black gun. I don't respect that. I don't respect that.
They say Immediately say he got shot. Shit, they ain't showed no gunshots, no blood.
No blood. I know that was weird. That was weird. That was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
He just left.
He just,
Said that, man.
yeah.
I know my gut. Yo, you hear me, pal?
Yeah.
My gut, man. For those eyes to see it, ears to hear, man. Yeah, man. I feel like it's one of those.
They ain't got nothing. Yeah. Ain't no gunshots.
Tapped in.
Nothing.
Yeah, we on warrior time. It's one of those. You hear me?
Yeah.
Telling you something, God, man. What's up, love?
All right.
What's up, great man?
Yeah,
Healthy, yeah. Yeah, keep me your God thoughts. Yo, I'm telling you, Bill.
Yeah.
That thing ain't right, you heard me?
Yeah.
No gunshots, boom. No gunshots in the car. No nothing.
Yeah.
It's just their limp. They hold it.
Well, I stay tuned. We'll see what happens. My spirit told me he was that he did leave this planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what my spirit did say to me. But we'll see. And you know, I'm sending condolences to all of these young brothers, because it's more than rappers that are out here dying. These little brothers is in the street in the bando, they getting washed up. You know what I mean? The murder rate in Atlanta is on the rise. The murder rate in the South is on the rise. The murder rate in the Midwest, the murder rate in the motherfucking, even on the East Coast. So, you know, talk to your seeds, yo, because you might not be affected by this situation, but your seeds might. Your seeds might need some they might need some consoling. You know what I'm saying? Your teenager who is not used to their favorite rapper getting gunned down and shot in the motherfucking face or shot up in their car, you know, and stuff like that. They might not know how to deal with that. So we got to be responsible parents and explain to these children what's going on, because like I said, life is desensitized to them. All they doing is putting a nigga on a t-shirt. You want that? It's too small. They just put you on a t-shirt. What you a 2X?
Yeah.
Let me get you a 2X. They put you on a name tag or a t-shirt, and then everybody is on with their life, because they're not going to be talking about XXXTentacion later on down the line. You know what I mean? I know that he has some prolific music that is probably unreleased. I know he's going to top the Billboard chart with a posthumous album, because their rappers get better promotion. You know what I mean? If there's one thing about those Jews, if he was signed to a Jewish label, yeah, they're going to get their money. They're going to promote that. They're going to make sure that music gets out there. But what about your babies? Do your babies know how to cope with losing their favorite artist? Because he was looked at in high regards by the youth. He had 8 million followers. He had little children in love with him. Real talk. So hip hop, once again, y'all lost another one, you know, and we hope that this summer doesn't see more of our brothers and sisters that are out there that are trying to do better with themselves, because some people are just throwing themselves all away. That's 25. Yeah, 30, but I do 25 for you.
Can you take the call?
Don't worry about it. You good. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. Yeah, like Nas said, go listen to that Nas album. Look at Nas doing what he do, embracing that. You know, Nas is damn near more right now. Blue Pill called it out in one of his songs, I think Beautiful Art, where he talked about something and going somewhere where let's bring Brooklyn on tour, Escobar, Return of the Moors. Nas is fully Moorish on this album. There's no mistaking about it. He's heavily influenced by the science. He has it in his merch. Kanye West helped curate the merch, so he's on the frequency. He's tapped in. You know what I'm talking about? This thing called consciousness that has started from the streets of New York City and also the lecture halls of LIU, National Black Theater, Old Barry Dempsey Center, right? The Slave Theater by way of Dr. Ben and what it is that they were doing over there at the Slave Theater. This is going commercial now. Your favorite artist is on the vibe, right? The favorite artist is on the vibe. The work that was done on these streets Primarily, this spot where I'm standing right here, because I'm not being facetious or anything. I'm just saying that this black dot, this spot where I'm standing, let me get you a bag. Where I'm standing right here across the street from the Apollo, this has been responsible, right? This dot right here is responsible for reverberating a lot of information, a lot of emanating, a lot of light, and disseminating tons of information around the world for the last 100 years. Remember, Father Allah walked around through these streets. Malcolm X stood right in front of the Apollo and was giving sermons.
Yeah, it's the Mecca, Harlem, you hear me?
Yeah, I was telling them that this dot right, this spot right here is a landmark.
Caloric grid.
Because this is where the divine spark that's affecting the planet is emanating from right here.
Yeah.
We're giving credit to other places and not being territorial, but we have to admit that this spot right here.
Mecca. No, you gotta get on your shit with that. Yeah. Harlem, you hear me? I'm talking about linguistic central, man.
Facts.
This is where we do it at. As far as verbiage and giving it up, yeah. Rush hour, the pavement, we gotta be clicking, man.
What they said about the A train?
Oh, fast way to Harlem, man. It's that A, man. Listen, man, I ain't gonna do too much talking until this shit stage. But listen, I love life, man. I love y'all, man. Keep me
Everything is love. I'm telling, everything is love. Even on the Nas, them symbols on the back of that merch, that handshake, that's love. Yeah, Morris, yeah, you heard? Everything is love.
I'm coming out the end of the month. It's conscious time. Let's go.
You already. Everything is love, man. Because whoever killed that young man was dealing with hate. And that's not the frequency that I'm on. I'm not on that time. Yes. I'm not on that time. I'm not on that time at all. I don't co-sign that energy. I don't co-sign none of that. I know that we at war, so I'm gonna direct. If there's any kind of malefic energy or any kind of murder bars and whatnot, or any kind of shots that need to be taken, I'm gonna take it at the outright enemy at this point in time. No, hell motherfucking no, bruh. We have to pay homage to what the work that's being done in these streets. We have to pay homage to the love that y'all receiving. We have to pay homage to the sacrifice that brothers and sisters who are on the front line are providing, because this is not, you think we make it look easy, make this shit look real easy, but it's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. It's not a layup. You know what I'm talking about? You can't do this with your eyes closed. This takes time. This takes work. This takes practice. You dig what I'm saying? This takes determination. So everybody who voted for me and my brother for hitting color 5, but Tariq Nasheed put a video up. He put a picture up on his Instagram and he asked the world, because he's global. Tariq Nasheed is a global recognized entity inside of the woke marketplace and inside of consciousness, right? Because we said it before that the only thing the woke is a marketplace. Woke is a marketplace where you commodify and you monetize what is known as consciousness, and you come up, nigga. Fuck. We're not apologizing for being inside of a marketplace. You don't gotta apologize for belonging to a marketplace. So woke is the marketplace where you commodify and monetize what is known as consciousness. And the brother Tariq Nasheed is very recognizable inside of those marketplace. He put on his Instagram, who should have hitting colors 5, and it was unanimous. Okay, it was unanimous that they were calling for the names of Red Pill, Blue Pill, EL for 54, and Blue Pill for 44. They were also calling for KT the Arch degree. They were also calling for 19 Keys. They were also calling for Derek Grace. They were also calling for Riz Islam. You know what I'm talking about? These were the names that were repeated multiple times by thousands upon thousands of people. So shout out to everybody that voted us. I look forward to that phone call. I look forward to multiple documentaries, because that's not the only story. There's so many stories that need to be told. But I'm going to utilize, if it's afforded to me, the opportunity to be on a big screen to build up the brand, to reach thousands upon thousands of people. I want to speak. I want to be in a room where the same 50,000 people that are watching my videos are actually in that stadium or actually on that acreage or on that land, or we can gather in real time. I want to touch and feel and see with my own eyes the 100,000 people that are viewing the video, the 50,000, the 20,000. Because remember, the capacity of the Barclays Center is only 18,000. And I was in the Barclays Center getting chills in my body when I seen niggas performing. So if the videos, I just put a video up on Rich yesterday, it's at 18,000 right now. So though I'm in the Barclays Center, my nigga, sold out arena. I'm in the Barclays. I'm out here spitting that cloth talking. Niggas is throwing flowers on the stage. Holla. It's time to shine, man. We done put in too much work, and it's time to commodify. It's time to put value to the work. It's time to commodify the work. You know, and that's it. So, yeah, Hidden Colors would be a real good look. I respect the brand. My master teachers, Phil Valentine, amongst other people, would have been featured on that through that venue, through that brand. I respect Tariq Nasheed and what he's doing. His information is on point. He's one of the few that are on the front line dealing with the same narrative and speaking truth to the fuck shit that we see all around us. So that brother is definitely he's on point. You know what I mean? He's on point. And we're at the point right now that if we're not working with each other, we're working against each other. If we're not forming Voltron, God damn it, then we're working for somebody outside of the best interest for the community. That's where we're at in the game. If you're not working to elevate and to big up and to build up each other, then you some fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? What we saw take place recently with the equity crowdfunding, the Jay Morrison and the Tulsa real estate, they shattered